Shall we begin?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Worlds of Warships Legends. Today we are back in the Tier 7 Italian battleship Roma. The reason I say we're back, well, I reviewed this ship quite a while ago, nearly 3 years ago now. And to be honest, I hammered this ship pretty hard. I don't think I said one positive thing about the ship in my review quite a while ago. I recommend you won't actually watch it, it's a bit of a terrible video. But that was back when I didn't favour this ship very much. I always found it to be it's just always been too inaccurate, or it's always overpens everything, or it used to anyway. Which is why we are back, because many things have changed since then, including a new commander. Yes, we are using Angelo Iacchino, with flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill blitz, marksmanship, reaching out XXL, and will to rebuild. For our commander inspirations, we are using Andrew Cunningham and Ajolaine Scharnhorst. If you don't have Ajolaine Scharnhorst, I'd recommend using Paolo Di Rovell just to get your reload up. For our modifications, we are using aiming systems, propulsion mod, concealment mod, and reload mod. Now, for our first game, we're going to be in a little bit of a small match. That's right. Some knob has disabled their crossplay, which means we're stuck in a 3v3 against our will. We are on the map Islands of Ice in Epicenter game mode. Not my favourite map, and not my favourite game mode. I'll be honest. Anyways, we've taken a shot about New Jersey there, we get about 5k. The enemy ships are obviously that Heinrich v New Jersey and a destroyer, which I forget which one it is, I can't remember now. I think it might be a Somers, I think it's a Somers. And we shoot here at the Heinrich, get some very nice and tight dispersion there, landing maybe a bit too far forwards, but he's still half health and with 7 pens. That is something, let me tell you, old Roma wouldn't be able to do. I doubt old Roma will probably be able to land more than 3 shells there. And we're going to take another shot at this Heinrich, and he's also going to get torped at the same time. Now this Heinrich, despite him taking an absolute pounding at the start of the game, I think I know he's going to survive quite a while. And enemy destroyers getting spotted there, I think, by our cruiser, which is a Helena. And we take a shot here, not exactly my greatest shot I've ever taken, but we still managed to hit him, so that's at least something. Helena eats torpedoes and is now getting charged up by a Heinrich, so I mean he's already just not going to live very long, you can tell. We get ready for the beautiful broadside New Jersey to turn up here. We take the shot. Not the best dispersion on the planet, but still pretty good. Unfortunately, we don't get the citadel we were hoping for. Still get a decent chunk though. He fires back. We mainly take it on the cheek there. And also it's New Jersey, so he's not exactly the most accurate ship on the planet, and so he doesn't hit many shells, and the ones he does gets an overpen. He's turning in a bit here, but we're still going to get enough angle to hopefully get the citadel off on him. Need to aim a bit forward to go onto those front 2 guns there, but unfortunately the shells go a bit too high for the citadel. Still get about 15k off of that. He's going to take the shot here. I was thinking he might get the cheek citadel there, but luckily he didn't. Now we're going to pop a plane here just to see whether or what the Heinrich's doing at the Somers if he is spotted. Unfortunately, I forget which way the plane goes, and the plane flies straight into the New Jersey and immediately gets shot out. That's nice. Another sloppy shot from that New Jersey there, but I don't know what I expected from the average New Jersey player. Now, despite it being a 3v3 here, we're already up to 80k. We get a turret off with that salvo with another 5 hits. Again, old Roma wouldn't be able to do that, but I'm going to stop waffling about old Roma now, because if you can't tell, I really didn't like old Roma. And that's where Mr. Anti-Fun turns up with a nice suicide run. Now, in my mind, this Sommers doesn't make the best decision on the planet. In fact, I think he kind of throws the entire game here for his team by essentially just absolutely killing himself for absolutely no reason. Heinrich turns up, we get shot, take a lot of damage, and he gets finishes us off. Not before he managed to discharge the rear turrets for an 11k salvo. With one torpedo, the Allied Sommers finishes off for New Jersey, and now it's just the Heinrich and the Sommers left. Now, because there's not going to be a lot more action in this battle, I'm just going to cut to the next part. And here we have the end of this battle. The Allied Sommers is going to finish the Heinrich off with some semi-blind torpedoes there. There he goes, and that concludes the game as a victory for us. So just a mini game there to start off with. We get 103k damage, and second on our team with 2298 base XP. Not too bad, not too shabby, but it's time to move on to the main events.
Shall we begin?
Here we are on the map Sleeping Giant. This is a domination game with 2 destroyers per team name carriers. This will be our second game for today, and is actually our first full one. If you haven't got crossplay turned on yet, please do turn it on. It's just not very entertaining having those small games as much as actually I guess I kind of enjoy them, but it's just not the way the game's balanced. Now, I'm initially quite concerned at the start of this game. We spawned on the right flank, and normally most people who spawn in the centre from the right of this map, as I've said in the previous video, all tend to gravitate towards this side of the map. But the other 2 guys I've spawned with are going away, or at least they are to start with. I think it's the King George is going to turn back in here, and the I was going to slow down. Or maybe King George doesn't. I can't exactly remember. But interestingly, the enemies kind of do the same thing. There's not going to be a lot going on for the initial part of this battle. Most of the enemies who've spawned on this side of the map go the long way around and don't really fire their guns at all for like the first 4 minutes-ish. But we'll get to that bit when we get there. Now I stopped because, well, I wanted someone to be spotted. But both our destroyers spawned in left and the middle because of Wargaming's dodgy spawn mechanics. And because there are only battleships on the right side of the map, no one's really going to do any spotting, so I'm going to have to accelerate a bit and push up here and try and spot something to shoot at. Both the enemy destroyers are just lounging about in B right now. One of our cruisers has gone straight down the middle of the map and directly into B, which is a ballsy tactic. And we get our first shot here against the King George. Tight dispersion on, apart from 2 of those shells, we get 13k on an auto shot. I think it's something to do with how Wargaming, they fixed some of the armor black hole things that are on the King George, which allowed me to get that much damage. I feel like old King George probably wouldn't have taken that much, but whatever. You already know Wargaming hates the King Georges. I mean, first thing they do is they put them at tier 6 and then give them really crap armour and whatnot. Which I don't seem to be very appropriate, seeing as they're like commissioned around the same time that all the rest of the tier 7 battleships are, so why they're at tier 6 with what are mainly like older super dreadnoughts like Nagato and Colorado and whatnot. But enough waffling, I'll waffle about this some other time. Now here's where another battleship turns up, and another battleship turns up. That's right, the Vanguard and the Vladivostok. I don't know what the Vanguard's doing. He's going flat broadside to try and get his rear turrets around, which is not a good strategy. I mean, I get the Citadel there, that's to be expected. I would start waffling about Vanguard's armour in this game, but whatever. And better for me, the Vanguard beaches himself and then immediately goes unspotted, so I can't even take a shot. My plane thankfully manages to spot the Vanguard there after he shoots. I just about lob my shots over the island, but I don't exactly apply quite enough lead, but I do still get Citadel there, very nice. Vostok continues to push up. This guy's, his decisions might be a bit risky, let's say. As you can see right here, going flat broadside in a Russian battleship, not what I'd recommend doing. We're going to get the just shot under his front guns there with a few shells, get another Citadel. Now, we do have the upper hand, we've got the ships, we've got the health, so we're going to keep pushing here. Hopefully dislodge this King George and the Vanguard. Flank round, maybe kill the cruisers, get the broadside up to Jean Bart.
Smells like fire.
Now we get set on fire by the Vanguard, we choose, well, just to not put it out. That's something I've mentioned numerous times in just a few videos already. Don't put out single fires. And another person joins the party. Well, two people, an Iowa and the other Iowa from the start of the game. However, Iowa's going to last long, and apparently neither is that Vanguard, who still has a death wish and still hasn't learned his lesson. We unfortunately don't get a sister that time thanks to Roma's somewhat trolly shell grouping. Now, our allied Iowa isn't long for this world, so I'm not even going to bother at this point supporting him, even if he does have will to rebuild. Allied Bismarck. Bismarck actually hitting something for once and taking out the enemy Vanguard there. Enemy Iowa is just... I mean, we got a lot of broadside people this game, as you can already see. Iowa's dispersion is so bad he actually manages to hit us in the process, but he doesn't do any damage. We discharge the front guns there and get another single Citadel. We are getting a lot of Citadels this game, only one per tower, which is a bit weird. Shoot the rear gun, no Citadels with that one. Now, interestingly, despite us pretty much massacring all the ships over here on this flank, we're kind of technically tied pretty much. If anything, we've got less ships than the enemy team. We're going to turn around quickly. We're going to try and possibly kill King George, stop them pushing to this side of the map here, trying to lodge ourselves in between those islands there. King George V, that was AP from the King George V, and that's not going to be the last time he fires AP at us, you can trust me on that one. We take a shot, a bit too much lead, and troll dispersion. We unfortunately don't kill him, and that is going to come back to bite us. Now I start getting spawns of HE from the old Chuck Martel over there, so I'm going to try and get myself a bit closer to the island maybe. I think I'll take a shot here at the Martel. Unfortunately, they stand into the island and the Richelieu absolutely nukes him. Jean Bart turns up, fires HE, sets us on double fire. We damage con that. Don't know what it is with Jean Bart spamming high explosive. It's just some weird thing they do. I decided to use my rear turret here on the Iowa, just to try and get it back, because I'm a bit shocked that he actually hasn't died yet.
Problem solved, sir.
Fairly predictable torpedoes there from the enemy Jervis. Which is why we even slowed down in the first place. There's no way we were pushing around that corner with a destroyer still around. Now we're just going to lie and wait here for the enemy Zara to turn up, hopefully.
Here
And I am pinging my allies for support here because they're still kind of hanging around at the back. The Zara does show his face a bit, just enough angle for us to get the old Citadel off on him. We get the high caliber up to 147k, and the Rishu again swoops in and nukes him out of existence. Now here's where the Jean Bart decides that he wants to rumble. Now normally, if there's a few things people should know about Jean Bart players, is Jean Bart players are annoying and they're kind of sweaty. Okay. Except at close range. Every single time I see a person take a Jean Bart into close range, they never ever win. It's just like it's Jean's law, I guess you could say. You never win a close quarters fight with Jean Bart, especially if you just get absolutely pummeled like there and lose one of your turrets permanently. Now I start requesting here for help killing the King George. He's going to get our broadside, and the Jervis turns up as well. And well, I kind of accept my fate here. He's probably going to white line single fire torps us, which I believe is exactly what he does. We get a shot on him, but it's too late, and the King George absolutely demolishes our broadside there. We do manage to pick up the Confederate and bring the Jervis down to pretty much no health before he dies, which will allow our destroyer, which is a Fletcher, to pick him off in the future. Again, I'm going to skip to the end of this battle, so not waste your time here. And so, with our stock hull Richelieu killing the Jean Bart, that brings the end to that game. A very nice game, if I do say so myself. I probably should have realised the King George V attempting to crossfire me sooner and should have angled to that. But, well, it's just how it is, I guess. 161,000 damage for the Tier 7 Roma. 2,531 base XP, which puts us at first in the leaderboard. On to our third and final game. Whoa, would you look at that? Deja vu, am I right? Never seen this map before. Yep, we're back in Islands of Ice Epicenter. 3 destroyers team, no carriers. The enemy does have a division though. I forget which one it is. I don't think we have a division, so that immediately puts us at a disadvantage.
Action stations.
Now, I don't know what it is. Roma seems to get this map a lot. I've got this map so many times in a Roma, I could not tell you even why, but I just do. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to go full speed. I remember, I think the previous day I had this map and I spawned middle spawn. And I didn't go away from middle spawn and we lost that entire game, so I'm trying something different here. I'm going to move off to the left flank here. So, I'm a bit concerned already. Our Colorado isn't moving, although he does actually become a very valuable asset later in this battle. But because our Colorado isn't presently moving, it means I have to delay my turnout for just a bit, which gets on my anxiety getting a bit. Of course, you don't want to be showing broadsides to enemies in the Roma. It's got a very weak broadside, probably one of the weakest at Tier 7, next to Vladivostok, actually, I'd say. We take that opening shot of the counter-stair, get a fairly meh 7k. I was hoping for a bit more, but it did turn in. Now that enemy Roma I'm looking at there is going to be one of the last ships left on the enemy team in this battle. This battle is going to be a fairly close game, but one team does throw, and I'm not going to say which one does the throwing. I'm going to take the shot here at the Alabama, trying to get into a superstructure there. We get 2 pence for 7.9k. And we have 3 enemy destroyers, and they're all going to go directly into the middle there. I think that's the, I forgot, it's Benson? I think it's Benson. And the Masters are going to turn up pretty shortly. I do take a shot here on this enemy Benson. As he's slowing down, I don't really apply any lead. Dispersion gets a bit wonky there, but we do still manage to get 2.6k. The game says we blacked out a turret there. We absolutely did not. We do not destroy turrets by doing that. That's a glitch that's been in the game for 2 years, and if you look closely, all of his turrets are still working completely fine. I don't know why this hasn't been fixed yet, and it's barely even been acknowledged, but it's certainly in the game, and it's certainly a bug. We get another shot here. Again, dispersion, not entirely preferable, but we do still get nice 3.9k. Take him down to about a third of his health there. Enemy, I was going to say mines there. Enemy Mars turns up. Now, naturally I am a bit wary. Okay, we got 3 destroyers going straight through the middle of the map, getting closer and closer to me, and I'm not really a fan of that. So, in let's say a bit of a short while, I'm gonna turn out, accelerate, turn out here. We get a shot on the mast, somehow only getting 1 hit for 1300 there. We consider taking a shot at Cleveland, but we decide not to. Not that we could, that's max, so we're on the way. So we instead decide to get another shot on the mast here. Again, just 1 hit for 1300, but still dealing damage to a destroyer, and that is preferable. Now we're gonna just get out of here. You're gonna see me pop my smoke here. And I do this a lot in Roma, so whenever I'm trying to get into a position, naturally I smoke, which is, well, because I'm gonna get myself into a stern-on position here, just in case anything somehow manages to go awry. And so I don't have to show broadside to 4 enemy battleships in the process. Zinop gives us a shot here. We aim purposefully high to try and go into his belt. Not his belt, sorry, his upper power, but everything either went low or went high, and we didn't end up doing any damage at all. Again, a Charlie Roma dispersion. Enemy Benson goes down. That leaves the Akizuki. Is there any destroyer left? We're going to try for the same shot again on the Sinop here. Eats it up, and we finish him off there. We're going to use the opportunity of having islands between us in order to turn in and try pushing the Richelieu and push leftwards, get some crossfires going, the whole shebang. We're going to shoot the Akizuki here. He slows down a wee bit there, but we still get a nice 5k. Now, I know my Osteotland's going to die, but he missed that first salvo there. Well, that's going to come back to bite us quite a bit. Sorry. I take the shot here on the enemy Akizuki, and we are going to get 2 hits, I believe. Yeah, that's 2 hits. Just not enough to kill him, but that leaves him on a sliver of health. And that Akizuki is going to almost kill me. And I am... Well, I mean, actually, you'll see it when it happens. It's definitely my fault, but it wouldn't have happened in the first place if the Osteotland actually hit the enemy destroyer. Take a shot here on the Richelieu, just aim a bit higher because we know French black hole armor is just gonna, well, you already know. 6.9k there. Now I see the enemy Roma pretty much just sitting there still, not really doing anything, so I take the shot. However, I act a bit too quick, and I do not see the enemy Akizuki trying a blind fire here. You can see me already lining up a blind fire shot on this guy, aiming pretty much waterline of his smoke screen here. Now, you see that there was a small break in his firing. That means he's fired torpedoes at me, which is why I slammed on the brakes a bit here.
Smells like fire.
Unfortunately, he steams away, so we know there are torpedoes on the way, so we start reversing. We get some very nice dispersion here on the enemy Roma. I was hoping for maybe a depth strike, but we still get all of our shell hits and also a sister. Now, I make a dumb decision here. I accelerate, I eat 2 torpedoes, and then I go full by accident again, and then eat 2 more torpedoes, and that brings us down to just about 6 health. Yeah. He decided to take another shot on Roma. So I've immediately gone from pretty much full health, I'm fine and dandy, to I'm in the shit now, and I need to get out. I'm going to draw your attention to our allied destroyer, who is trying as much as possible to go around all the bases and all the enemy ships and do as little as possible, as destroyer players commonly do. Instead of, well, I don't know, attacking around Akazuki that's got pretty much no help at this point. So I use my smoke again to turn out, go around. I pop my plane here just in case anyone decided to try and go unspotted. And I'm getting torpedoed again by the Akatsuki.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Naturally, he didn't flick the turn here. I don't think many people would, so those do miss. Our allied Baltimore goes down. That was the last radar on our team. He didn't really have any health anyway. Does at least manage to kill the Alabama, and then our Amagi dies. This leaves just me, who's got low health, and the, I believe it's the Colorado here, who also has low health.
5 minutes left for me to try out.
Now we decide to take a shot at the Roma, who's already on low health, because, well, better than not killing him, I guess. And our dispersion is incredibly trolly, and goes everywhere but where we aimed, and we get 3 ricochets. Now this game is still up for grabs. We are 1 ship ahead, but the enemy has the points and the caps at this point. So, yeah. Enemy Roma fires a lovely salvo HE at us. I fire a salvo of AP at the... We should get about 15k there, very nice indeed. Enemy Roma smokes up whilst he makes a turn there. But I'm not going to shoot the Richelieu because I know this Roma's not he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, and he does fire his guns, so we take the shot here. Unfortunately, 1 over pen. Yeah, I don't really get wargaming sometimes, but it is what it is. Now we are just so very much down on points now. Now we have the Allied Massachusetts, I do believe it is, and well, he's not going to play badly. I would have just done some things differently. I'd try to do as much damage to Rome as possible, then ram the Richelieu. But he's not going to do that. He's not going to ram the Richelieu. He's just going to go past the Richelieu here. Who, speaking of which, picks up his high caliber, so congratulations to him. We get some more abhorrently bad dispersion here, but they're still all pain, and we pick up our high caliber for 127,000 damage. And our Massachusetts, well, he's gonna die. He's as much as he's got a lot of health, yeah, he's gonna lose his health very, very quickly here. And we ping our destroyer to desperately try and shoot Yakizuki. Our destroyer doesn't, but our god tier Colorado player just cross map snipes him into oblivion and gets him there. There you go. Our Massachusetts goes down. Is not the best hit, but our destroyer, our Shimiatsu, does land 2 torpedoes down the enemy initially, which leaves just the enemy Roma left, who in a desperate bid to try and avoid torpedoes is forced to show us just a bit too much angle for it's just not preferable for him, and we take him out and pick up our dreadnought, ending the game. $138,000 damage for another Islands of Ice Epicenter game in Roma. 2,630 base XP with 2 kills, and of course the Dreadnought and high caliber. So that's the Roma in 2023. Is she worth getting? I believe she's available for global XP right now, 750k, as with most Tier 7 premium GXP ships. And personally, I say yes, I think she's very much worth the money nowadays. Probably not worth it back in the old days of 2020, already feels like a long time ago now, when she was a wee bit shit, not gonna lie. Of course, the introduction of Angelo Iacchino and the like has of course helped the Roma, and the introduction of her exhaust smoke, which she didn't have when she first released. So overall, solid ship. Well, I'd say actually above solid. Pretty good ship, pretty good armour, fairly tanky, and, well, pretty good and punchy, if inconsistent guns. But overall, she just feels nice, I guess. So I'll see you guys next week for, I believe I'll probably do a review on the Tulsa. And I might do a video on the Duke of York when I decide to, just to revisit her nowadays. So, like and subscribe and all that. Something else YouTubers say. Bye bye.